Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooklyn, and for today's video I am doing something that I did last year and I really wanted to do it again. It's a little late into the month, but I'm going to be tier ranking all the books that I read in 2024. I have some stats. I thought this video would be really fun to film just to kind of reminisce on all the books that I've read. My goal this year was 50 books. Last year it was 25 books and I read about I think 32 or 33 books. We're jumping up as the years go, which I'm really proud of. In the year 2024 I read a total of 16,370 pages. My average rating was 3.97. My average page count was 322. I mainly read romance, sports romance, fantasy, romantasy, some self-help books. I think there was like one mystery book and then YA. I definitely tried more. It wasn't just straight romance, which I feel like I'm expanding my reading. I am going to hop over to the tier list that I made and then we can start ranking these books. I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you've read any of these books, let me know your opinions on them in the comments down below. The sections that I have this year, I have 5 different sections. The bottom level is I don't have the heart to DNF. I'm pretty sure I did this last year and it's basically what it says. I don't have the heart to DNF this, and I don't think I ever really will DNF a book because if I buy it, like I have it, so I feel like I have to finish it. I don't know, part of me just wants to give it like its full chance to like prove itself, and then if it's bad, it's a bad book. You know what I mean? Level Up is good but not great. This is probably like my 2 to 3.5 stars. Like it was good. Like I had some high hopes, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. I like your vibe. A little quirky one. It's about the vibes. Honestly, I'm very big on rating books on its vibe solely. Not solely. I consider some other possible aspects, but I just don't feel like I'm that serious about reading. It's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be enjoyable, so I really go based off of vibes, and sometimes books just bring great vibes. That one, and then Had a Kick to It. This one is like, you know what, it affected me a bit. Like I thought about it, it was close to a 5, maybe not so much a 5, or it was a 5 and it's like a solid book. I feel like those would be like my 4.75s, 4.5s. And then yep, yay! That is from a TikTok. If you guys know what I'm talking about, the guy on TikTok is so funny. So I put that as my top one. That's like, I will marry this book. This is a 6+ star. I will reread it in the future. Thinking about it just makes me happy. It changed my life. It affected me. That kind of thing. Getting started. The first book we have is George Orwell, Animal Farm. It was a short novella, so it wasn't like that long of a book. I read this going to Japan. I'm gonna honestly say I kind of like your vibe. I thought the story was like it was a little sassy. I don't know how to describe it. That's like the worst way to describe like a George Orwell book, but I liked the overall idea and plot of the book and how it was portrayed through farm animals. Okay, next one. Sorry. This one, Priest. Had a kick to it. Is that... I listened to this one on audiobook because of the narrator, Jacob Morgan, and he goes by a bunch of other names, but that's the one I think I remember for him for this one. His voice is so good, you guys. Like he is really great at narrating books, so that was like the sole reason I listened to it, and I listened to it on Spotify. I really used my Spotify this year to listen to audiobooks. That helped me reach my goal tremendously, but I thoroughly enjoyed Priest. It was a little out of what I normally listen to / read, but I enjoyed it. So it's kind of like I like your vibe too, but was it vibe? Because I don't think I could see myself reading it again. That's a lie. Actually, it had a kick to it. I'm glad my mom died. I don't think I rated this. This is kind of like a bad book to like categorize because it's like a memoir. So I'm just gonna say like I like your vibe. I thought Jeanette McCurdy, she was the one that narrated her own book, and I listened to this one also on Spotify. I thought it was interesting. I didn't really know too much about her. I just know I watched her growing up on Nickelodeon, so it was kind of interesting to hear her story, but also the way she delivered it was really funny at times. So I'll just say I like your vibe. The Evidence of the Affair. Oh, this one had a kick to it. This is a short novella by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm iffy with some of her books. I really like Daisy Jones and the Six. Evelyn Hugo, I didn't really like that book, so I was like kind of hesitant with her writing because it's so, I don't even know what the word is, like women's fiction. It's not true romance. It's like more realistic almost. The ending got me. I remember I stayed up late. I was at home when I was reading that one. Darkest Minds. I don't have the heart to DNF it. The movie slays. I love it. That's why I bought the book. I just wanted to get this off my TBR. Listen to this, I think, too, on audio because it had it with the Kindle. And I read part of it on my Kindle, but this just took me an unreasonably long amount of time. Twisted Lies. I'm gonna say good, but not great. I don't know. Anna Wong's books aren't my favorite. I've come to realize I think they're like a little overhyped from book talk. The story had potential, I think, but it just didn't like execute it in the way that I thought it would. The Unhoneymooners. I like your vibe. No, I'm gonna say good, but not great. The beginning really had me. It had great potential and it was really fun. I thought I could imagine the guy being really attractive, which is always a plus, you know. That's the reason why we're reading these books. Then like the ending just kind of got weird and it fizzled out a bit, and I just did not like that. I remember like not being satisfied after reading this. I think this was like one of the first books too I read on my Kindle, so that was a fun moment. Off to the Races. Good but not great. Wasn't my favorite. I think this was my first Elsie Silver book that I read from her. I don't really remember much from it, but I do want to continue that series. It just wasn't my favorite. Drop, Cover, and Hold On. What was this one? That was earthquake one. Did not have the heart to DNF. I'm gonna be so honest. These little short novella books from the Amazon Prime, I was reading and listening to these because when I got back from Japan and I was home for July, I was like, I am catching up on my reading goal. Goodreads would say like 2 books behind, 3 books behind, and I was like, I'm catching up on it. So I did everything in my power to do that, and it was reading like short stories or listening to audiobooks, and some of these, like, I just powered through them when I should have just given up on them. The exception to the rule, I think I really like this one. I think this one, I liked your vibe. I think if it was like an actual full story, I would have really enjoyed it. I like the plot. I'm pretty sure this was the one where they were pen pals and they sent emails back and forth to each other every Valentine's Day. They kind of, their paths end up crossing in real life, which is really, I love that. The worst wingman ever. I'm like kind of getting these confused. The worst wingman ever, good but not great. I mean, I don't really remember that one. Royal Valentine, do not have the heart DNF. That one, I didn't care for that one. I'm gonna do these right now because I'm just doing them all. With any luck, that one was fun. I like your vibe. That one was the fun one that I'm pretty sure she had this curse where like the person she kissed, they ended up finding their soulmate after she kissed them. I'm gonna actually, I changed my mind. I'm gonna say I like your vibe. I'm pretty sure that one had a pretty good ending too. The Inheritance Games. Ooh. I only read the first one and the second one. I'm kind of getting them confused in my head. Why is this so difficult? I feel like I'm just gonna put everything in I like your vibe. I did like the vibe. This was the first book I've read from Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I heard the series was very popular, obviously, so I was really excited to start it. It was a fast read. I remember that the story goes by really quick and you really are immersed in it. I didn't think it lived up to like the riddles and all of that. It wasn't what I fully thought it would be, like all the brothers and stuff, and I thought the story was really fun. Well, darling, my friend May recommended this one to me, and I'm gonna say I like your vibe. This is gonna be the column for me. Key romance, obviously, and I really liked it. I lied. I'm gonna go good but not great because there was a part at the end that really got me. That was kind of cringe to me, so I'm just gonna put it there. King of Wrath, I'm gonna say good but not great. I listened to this in audio again because of the narrator, Jacob Morgan. He did a great job. Two Can Play, the audiobook that came out on Spotify. So this was like a strict audio. I can't remember. Ali Hazelwood just always writes really hot men in her books, and like the stories are always really fun, like quirky. I'm gonna say good but not great. I mean, it's a short story. You can't really get too much from it. Guys, I actually can't remember it. Maybe that should be a category. Good but not great is actually like I remember it, but I don't. Flawless, good but not great. I did not really like this one. I think I really wanted to, and I kind of was like not forcing myself, but I had higher expectations of what it would be. But I do love Elsie Silver's writing and this like overall world that she has in Chestnut Springs. It just wasn't my favorite. Like I don't think I'd go back and read their story specifically. Divine Rivals. Hey, this is why I made this category. Oops, hold on, let me scroll up. Yep, yay. That book, you guys, if you watch my May reading vlog from last year, this was the book that like got me back into reading. I'm gonna reread this. I have to reread this book. It's just so good. The vibes were immaculate. The playlist was amazing. And I don't think nothing will ever like top that era in my life. That's specifically why I made this category. I had this book in mind. So that one's going up there, YA. But the tension and the yearning in it is just like so good. And it's kind of like words of affirmation, which I think that's why I like these like pen pal ones. They wrote letters back and forth to each other. Daisy Jones and the Six. I like your vibe. Honestly, I kind of wanted to hate it, but I couldn't. It just wouldn't let me. And then I watched the TV show, and the TV show was also really good. Powerless. I'm gonna say I like your vibe. It's better. I realized I just put the old cover on it. Dang it. It's better than Flawless. This is one of the last books I also read at the end of the year, and it just wasn't my favorite. I like Sloan and Jasper. That miscommunication thing that I just did not really appreciate. The Goal, I did not have the heart to DNF it. I hate that book. Thinking back, that book makes me like never want to read again. That was also unplanned pregnancy trope, and it mentioned it on the back cover. I just didn't realize that because I didn't read the back. Pretty sure it's Tucker's book, and I really like him, so he was fun. But the girl, Sabrina, she just irritated me. The Score, this is Dean. I'm gonna say good but not great. This one was fun. Dean is a character that's really fun in the Off-Campus series, so I was really excited to read his story, but I just kind of felt like, once again, the female characters in Elle Kennedy's writing sometimes annoy me, and she did in this one. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm gonna say had a kick to it. I wouldn't like reread it. I listened to the audiobook of this one, and then I also read the book physically here and there. This one took me a while, but I wasn't rushing through it, if that makes sense. I really like the whole storyline, the way everything's connected. I actually do have a reading blog for this. I just have yet to edit it. So get excited for that one, you guys. That one's coming out at some point in this year. It had a really nice message and meaning behind it. I loved all the characters in it, the way they're all interconnected. If you had been with me, all right, you guys, not there. This one's going to the, yep, yay! Because this one actually destroyed me and it changed my life completely. It changed me as a person. Like, it really changed me. It changed my perspective of life and the world. I cried. This was like the first book to ever really make me cry. And the playlist was also really good. And I listened to the playlist after I finished the book, and like, that's when I know it's good. You know what I mean? But like, Autumn and Finn, I would definitely reread it. Behind the Net, I like your vibe. It wasn't like, I feel like I've seen so much about that book, but it just wasn't anything special. I do want to read the books in the series. I know the second one's supposed to be really good, so we shall see. When in Rome, I like your vibe. That one was a fun one. Hometown vibe. People we meet on vacation. I don't know. It's actually, I'm struggling right now. You know what? Yep. Yay is Where People We Meet on Vacation is gonna go by Emily Henry. This book took me a while to read. I read this in like March, and I was at my college basketball conference tournament. While we were reading this, we were on the road for like 3 weeks. It was the longest chunk of my life, but this book was the consistent part of it. I ended up finishing when we came back on island. I'm just like telling you the lore behind all these books and when I read them. I remember loving, I'm pretty sure his name's Alex in this book. He is like a solid MMC in this book, and they're making a movie on it very soon, and I got very territorial about it because everyone came out of the woodworks suddenly saying that they really like this book. So this is probably like my top book from her, if not like top 1 or 2. This summer will be different. You know what? This one had a kick to it. This one was really fun. I think, once again, I think I said this last year, a lot of the vibe also stems from the MMC in the book, because if I can fall in love with them, then it makes the book 10 times better. Message behind it and how she lived her life and was finding herself as a character, I think I really remember liking. And then also him as a character. They're very mature. Heartless. Why did I not change out these ugly covers? Okay, this one is going up to my yep, yeah. Actually, I feel like I have to do it every time. The yep, yay for Heartless by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series. This is between Cade and Willa. Cade and Willa. These two are so good. I love Cade. This was a like single dad / nanny romance, and I had a great time reading that book. That was a good one. My fave so far of the Chestnut Springs. Twisted Games. Twisted Games was the princess one. Listen, I like your vibe for that one. That one was pretty fun. Yeah, because I did not like, I'm pretty sure Stella was the Twisted Lies one. She was kind of a little insufferable, but Twisted Games was fun because I can't remember her name, but she was the princess in The Bodyguard. Sinner by Sierra Simone. This was also followed by me listening to Priest. I listened to Sinner because he also, Jacob Morgan, also does the narration for this book. Had a kick to it. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed this. He is a great narrator. Don't remember that book at all. This is the problem though with listening to like audiobooks, is like I don't remember them. Oh, yeah. I can't remember. This one was a little weird. Not weird, but it was like, I think Priest was just better. I'm gonna say I like your vibe. Meet Me at the Lake. I'm gonna say good but not great. I rushed this one because I was also trying to read it for a video, and that just always stresses me out timing wise, because this was like a then and now timeline one, and I really like this because I felt like it went by pretty quick. I don't remember how it ends though. I think the romance was like pretty good in it. It wasn't my favorite. If I can't really remember it, you know, it's not like the best ever, but started to really appreciate Carly Fortune's writing, especially after reading This Summer Will Be Different. Iron Flame, I'm currently re-listening to it because Onyx Storm comes out tomorrow, and I'm just skimming chapters now, or like skipping to the ones that are important to the plot, because I cannot, it's like 22 hours and I can't waste my hours on Spotify for it, because I'm truly like, this book took me a month to read. I read it, I started it in December I believe, and I finished it like at the end of January. This book, it just unnecessary amount of time. There was so much in between like that did not need to be put in this. You know when you get sick after eating something and then you never want to eat that thing again? That's how I feel about this book. Truly does not make me happy thinking about it, and even listening to it I just get very frustrated about it. Like speaking about it now, I feel like I'm getting very angry. So I'm gonna say, because like Zayden though, you know what I mean? Like it's Zayden. Listen, we can, I really want to put it here, because like I really could not DNF it because my friend read it and she was like waiting for me to finish it, and I was just like struggling to get, I was staying up so late to try and finish reading. I finished it in the hotel in like San Diego, in the bathroom on the floor. I remember this because the roommate that I was with for that trip, I think it was Jade, she was asleep, and like I needed to finish it, and then like I tried to cry at the end, but I spoiled it for myself on TikTok. So we have to sometimes be brutally honest. It's not a bad book, it's just like in the time of reading it just took me forever to read, and it kind of made me like really angry. Powerless, I think, oh, this was a reread because Reckless came out, and like yep, yay, because I listened to the audio version of this, and the man who does Kai's narration, perfect voice for Kai. Like it's perfect. I love that book. Rose Taken. I say this one. I don't have the heart to DNF. I read this on my phone on the Kindle app while I was in Japan. I felt like I should have been reading something and I just didn't have anything, and I was really on the edge of getting a Kindle, and I was like, you know, let me just test run this on my phone. And this was the book that they offered on Amazon, because at the time I didn't have the Kindle Unlimited subscription. The story was really weird. I feel like there was a lot of like plot holes and things that could have happened but didn't. It felt very like unsatisfying to read. Wildfire, I'm gonna say good but not great. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. I liked Russ. I'm pretty sure it's Russ and Aurora. They were fun, but this was also another one that I read for a video and I was like stressing to get it done. Cruel Winter with You was a short story by Ali Hazelwood. It was like similar to the Amazon Prime one that the Valentine's Day ones were in. This one was like a winter version, and I only read the one from Ali Hazelwood because I need like more from her because her writing is just my favorite. And I saw a lot of mixed reviews on this one on Goodreads. People were saying that he was creepy in the book. I didn't find anything wrong with the story between the two people once again. The vibes were great. I read that on my Kindle on Christmas Day. The Mistake, good but not great. That one was just boring. I didn't really like the girl character in it. The Deal is always top tier for me. Like, never. The Hawthorne Legacy, this one ain't. I'm gonna say, yep, yay! This one's gonna go up there. I love this book. This book, I don't know, I haven't finished the series yet, but the little triangle between Avery, Grayson, and Jameson, that's what it is. Top tier. It was so good. I feel like this one had more action to it, and the plot line was actually a little more interesting to me. I think we uncovered a little bit more. I did see someone commented on my video when I read this saying that like they want to see my opinions after I read the third book about Grayson because I'm a Grayson girly through and through, and I think maybe the third book could change my opinion of him, but I don't know. I really enjoyed that book though. That one was fun. Rosie and the Dreamboat, absolutely hated this one. Okay. I'm gonna move Iron Flame up because I feel like with all the books that I've put down here, I really have like disgust and hatred in my heart towards these books just because like I did not enjoy reading them. Iron Flame, I did enjoy it. It was a fun vibe and moment in time. Rosie and the Dreamboat though, the weirdest book I've ever listened to. I was like, I remember I was like packing my room up at home and I was like, why is this even a thing right now? So Ruthless Vows, this one was kind of a letdown. I'm gonna say good but not great. I just wanted to read more about Iris and Roman. I love Roman. Love that man. It will never live up to the hype that Divine Rivals is. Like it will never be that good. I think a lot of people were let down by this one. So Atomic Habits, hey, self-help book. Had a kick to it. You know what? Maybe, I feel like it's so weird for a self-help book. I'm gonna say yep, yay! James Clear kind of ate with this one. If you have not read, like if you're gonna read one self-help book at all this year, Atomic Habits is like the best one. Knockin' Boots. This one I read also in January. I'm pretty sure it was when I was packing for the trip that I also had Iron Flame with me. And I needed like an audiobook because I was packing. I'm like, no TV show sounds fun. No movie I want to watch. I want a book, but I can't pack and read a book. And I didn't have my Kindle at the time. I found this on YouTube and I'm pretty sure Teddy Hamilton narrated it. I have no clue. I'm going to say that. I don't know. That one I just kind of forgot about. The cover's killing me too. It was like a small town romance. He had a bar and she like stumbled in it one day. I don't know. That's all I really remember about it. Reckless. Listen. I'm gonna say it had a kick to it. It was fun. I think the vibe was there for sure. It just also, I feel like similar to Iron Flame, it dragged out a bit because we did a lot of cat and mouse in this book, but we did get a lot more of Peyton and Kai. I'm pretty sure I also listened to this like twice because I listened to the audiobook of it for Kai. This book also took me a long time to read. I think it's just because I was like over highlighting and stuff. This book felt very stagnant and it didn't like do much. Nothing happened really in this book, but like a lot did. I don't know. The ending really got me though. I cried. And it's all on video. So if you want to watch that vlog, I'll put it like in the little tab thing. I cried at the end of this book. Like sobbed at it. I love Kai. I love Kai Azer. I can't help it. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. This book ate. And I didn't even read it. I listened to the audiobook of it. Yep. Yay! To Allie Carter, The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. This book was so good. And can we guess who narrated it? Jacob Morgan. This book was really fun. And it's like a kind of whodunit, Knives Out vibe, but Christmas time. The 7 Year Slip. I think I'm gonna put this one. It had a kick to it. This one I've been really wanting to read for a while now and I always considered it. It's always been on my TBR and then I finally did it. I finally read it. I listened to, I think, part of it on audio, but I read majority of it on like the physical book. It was fun. I liked it. The 7 Year Slip thing's actually very smart and fun. I like how it all connected. I love those books. Like when it has like a little more to it, it's really fun. Powerful, good but not great. I didn't really care about, is it Adina? I didn't really care about her that much. She wasn't my favorite. I wish if anything, Lauren Roberts tied the characters in that novella to Reckless. Not to the point where you have to read the novella, but I just kind of felt like this was like really pointless. Not in Love. Allie Hazelwood, my queen. She did it again. Yep, yay! That one goes to that one for sure because I read that book in the summer and it was just so good. That Eli, I'll never forget that man. That man is just, it was kind of like a fever dream though, like low key. Don't really remember the full plot points. I know like some parts really stick out in my brain. I don't know why, but just like the dynamic that these two had. And this was like her first like spicier book. she did a good job. So definitely reread that book. I love Ali Hazelwood's writing. It's just so good. And then the final book, last but not least, The Deal. This was a reread because I had the special covers and I decided like, hey, why not just reread it? I really couldn't remember this one. I'm pretty sure I remember reading this during Valentine's Day. I was sick. I had the flu and I was at home and I was just reading it for like 2 days. I'm gonna put it, yay, a little reread highlight moment, because like this is a book I did reread and I will reread in the future because Garrett and Hannah are just like the couple. This is like the hockey romance to me, like college hockey romance. This is the book. I love this book. I think about this book often. It is so good. That is everything, you guys. This is my little tier ranking. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. If you have read any of these books, let me know how you enjoyed them or where you would rank them. I enjoyed doing this little look back of all the books I read. I really enjoyed 2024 reading. I'm really proud of myself because I hit my 50 book goal. We bumped it up to 75 this year. So I'm actually on a great start though. I've read like 3 books so far this year and it's only January. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me rank the books that I read in 2024. I had fun reminiscing on all the books that I read and just the memories they brought. Like I mentioned before, if you've read these, let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions. And that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye.